On Friday, Mayor Damon Welch unveiled his economic development strategy, which is going to call for a creation of a 11-member oversight board. It's going to be called the Jefferson County, Indiana Vision and Economic Strategy. And with us in the studio this morning, glad to have the mayor of Madison, Damon Welch. Damon, good morning to you.
Good morning to you, Larry.
And you and I were listening to the two young gentlemen that are here about, I had to get up this early in the morning. The mayor's job is 24 hours a day.
Yes, that is true, along with several other that work for the city.
That is very true. Now, Friday, you made the announcement about a new economic development strategy, not only for the city of Madison, but also encompasses the Jefferson County area as well.
Absolutely. Just to give you a little history of this, Larry, back during the campaign for mayor, we talked about several things, but one of the things we talked about specifically was if we were elected that we would take a look at overall economic development, how we do it here in the city, in the county, in our community, basically, because it all fits together when you get right down to it. And we're very blessed here to have a diverse economy. We have manufacturing plants that have been here with us for years, that have expanded over the years. We have large retail, we have small business, we have riverfront development, we have Main Street, historic preservation. So we've got a wonderful economy here, diverse economy. So we wanted to just take a look at how we did that, the total vision for that. And once we were elected, staff and I began to put together a plan on how we were going to do that. It's something to say you're going to do something, but then how are you going to...
You have to implement it.
You've got to implement that task. So as we begin to talk about it and look at some of the other communities that had done what we wanted to do, we put together, invited 7 members from our community and put together what we called an Economic Development Review Panel. I think it was called a Blue Ribbon Panel at that time. 7 people that were not really connected to government. We didn't want it looked at from that aspect. We wanted people that were diverse in their experience, but really didn't have much experience in government or weren't a part of government at this time. And really the task here that I asked them to do was take some time and gather information from the different parts of our economy on what they were doing and how they were doing it, and then put that together in a final report. Now, Larry, over a 90-day period, they had 11 open meetings, numerous one-on-one interviews to gather this information. I think on the 1st of July, if I remember right, they presented me with an 88-page report. So they took this as far as they could without actually having the experience of out there running economies on a day-to-day basis. So from there, I invited in a county commissioner rep, a county council rep, city council rep, and a town of Hanover rep. And we began to just look at the recommendations that the Blue Ribbon Panel made and just kind of in general talk about where we thought the community needed to go. I believe it was on August 1st. Don't hold me to these dates.
We won't hold you to the dates.
But I believe on August 1st, we put together a joint statement, pretty general, in the direction or the specifics of the important things of where we thought we needed to go as far as economic development was concerned. One of the things that the Economic Development Review Panel recommended was that we put together, or that we bring in some outside advisors or consultants to take a look at the report, and then, because they were actually out doing it, take this process a little bit further and say, let's look at these recommendations, fit it to your community, and say, what would you recommend we do with the information we had? I had met, by the way, during this whole process of the Blue Ribbon Panel, we weren't sitting around on our thumbs as a staff. We were looking at other communities, actually met with some community leaders, actually community economic development leaders that were experiencing some pretty good success. And we started looking at a couple of models that they had, actually invited them in, and I believe that was, guys, in August also, late August. They came in and did a seminar, kind of teamed up, and they were experts in different areas. Number one was in Bill Kanye out of Wabash. He's more of an expert in in what we call here our economic development partners. How to put that together. Been very successful in bringing in new industry in his area, as well as retention and expansion of the current industries he had. Then we also invited in Kim Houston from Bardstown, Kentucky, who is their economic development president. And she was more of an expert in how to put together an overall informational structure where all parts of the economy, the information was flowing up to a board, and you're all sitting at the table and talking about the overall economic development strategies for your community. So we brought those two in, well received seminar, and we actually asked them a little bit later to come in and do some consulting for us. Mm-hmm. And although they did it in two different areas, basically, we received that final report from Bill Kanya. Let's see, when was that, guys? That was in
December 31st?
Yeah, December 31st. So we felt like it's time. We've along the way, we tried to talk about where we were in the process and what was going to come next. I met with the council individually, city council, and representatives from all the other elected bodies, and we want to do this together, and we're working toward doing that.
And it had mentioned that it would be a 11-member oversight panel that would actually, I guess you could say, govern or oversee this particular team, Jefferson County, Indiana Vision and Economic Strategy Team. It would have 5 members of the board that would be elected officials, Madison Mayor and 1 member from each of the Madison City Council, the County Board of Commissioners, the County Council, the Hanover Town Council, and then 6 other members, which would be basically representing different aspects, not only around the city of Madison, but around the county as well.
Absolutely. We want to do this together. Larry, it's we have a lot of great organizations out there, and one of the things that I've been looking at as a councilman for 4 years is we have some wonderful organizations that come up with great ideas, but they never seem to get to a point where they can be implemented. Mm-hmm. I see this board and I basically talk about it being an oversight and a vision board. We're not. I know there may be some people that think we're coming in and try to take over all their organizations. That's not the point. We want everyone talking, and this is going to. I hate to use the word.
I think the giant word is networking with each other.
Absolutely. Good word, networking. And so I hate to use this word, but if this body is put together, which I think it is, I think it's receiving, good vibes from the ones I'm talking to in the community. But it's going to force us to sit down at the table, and I think it's going to be just a fantastic flow of information. And it's going to get us all talking together, I think, about how we're doing economic development.
And, economic development and, bringing people into the Madison, Jefferson County area. Some of the people that you have on here, or that would be representative, like tourism, downtown development, small business. These are talking about not only business people, but also the general community, bringing people into the area, bringing people in to visit the area, bringing money into Madison and Jefferson County.
Absolutely. What's interesting is the 2 consultants or advisors that we were using, they've got wonderful communities in their own rights. I mean, if you've been to Bardstown, Kentucky, it's a beautiful town. They were similar in demographics, population to ours, but they both said, you've got something special here in your community, and we do, and we need to take advantage of it. Not that we're in dire straits right now, Larry. Things are moving pretty well compared to some of the other communities, but we've got so much more to offer. We believe this will head us in the right direction.
Now, this is going to be, you will present this proposal at the January 22nd Madison City Council meeting. It'll be part of the City Council meeting that'll be coming up on that day.
Absolutely.
And so far, you mentioned about, the people that you've been talking to. How, we talk about the city of Madison, we talk about the Jefferson County community area. How are the two sort of blending together? How are they looking at it in an overall view so far?
Well, I think very well. We've tried to keep them all in the loop as we were going along. One reason why, Larry, I took the initiative on this as mayor is because we talked about it a lot during the campaign. And being a pretty much a lifelong resident of Madison, I've seen this for years, that we've got something special here, but it seemed like, and you hear this from a lot of different people, there's a lot of great organizations, but can't we all come together and
work together for one cause?
Exactly. And it's received, as soon as we got this report out, we started talking to everybody, representatives from all the other different elected bodies here, and I think we're on the same path, and I think we've gotten input from all of them. We're going to tweak this as we go along. There's no doubt about it. It's going to be an ongoing conversation, but we just felt we're at the point in this process where let's put out a plan, and this has been, I feel like, well thought out. It's not something that we cooked up on ourselves, but we've tried to take bits and pieces from other communities that have been successful and fit it into our community.
And the thing of it is, it's trying to work together, not only with the businesses, with the residents, but also with members of elected government, both Madison and also the county, and also representatives from various different organizations across Madison and Jefferson County. Again, this is going to be presented in full coming up on January the 22nd at the Madison City Council meeting on that day. More information will be given out about this, and as the mayor says, it's going to be tweaked, as things go along. Nothing is going to be, right out there perfect on the first presentation. There's all tweaking. People are going to have all types of different things that, hey, this might work here instead of this, and that's what it's all coming together, and that's why you want to help form this oversight committee to take a look and bring more business and more aspects into not only Madison, but the Jefferson County area as well.
Absolutely.
All right.
My opinion, it won't work without us all working together.
That's the thing. One person's opinion doesn't always work, but a group of people could get together and put everything together and work as one, and those things are the ones that usually come out for the better. So one person's idea may evolve into a group of people's better ideas to make everything work.
Absolutely.
I just thought of that. That's pretty good for this
That's
time
good,
in
Larry.
the morning.
I'm happy for it. One other thing, I think, as I said before, I know we're short on time, but sometimes you put a plan in place and then you continue the dialogue, and that's where the tweaking comes in.
Exactly. Mayor, thanks a lot for coming
Thank you, Larry.
talking a little bit about this morning. Again, that's going to be coming up on January 22nd. That's next Tuesday. And also, I want to throw in real quick, there's been well, I guess you could say a voting that's been going on. Andrew Forster in here with us, and it's about the websites, and the announcement on who gets that is coming up, next Monday, I believe.
Yeah, the announcement will be on the 21st. See if we want a free website makeover, extreme makeover. If you've been on the city website, you'll know that's something that would suit us very well and think would help us in this process.
Exactly. The guy from Extreme Makeover, that's houses. He won't be here.
Ty won't be here.
Ty won't be here. All right. You can get more information if you'd like. You can contact the mayor's office or go to the websites and find out as well. But if you want to find out more and maybe even get involved, January 22nd is the city council meeting.
Yes, and if you want to see the plan for the mayor, it is posted on our website. But we have a lot of other exciting things that are going to be posted on the website, including, save the date, this is a teaser for next time that we're up here, June 8th. There will be a party to celebrate the bridge reopening. So, just a teaser.
Finally going to reopen? I knew it was coming up towards that time. Gentlemen, listen, thanks a lot for coming on in this morning, and as always, keep in contact. 95.3 WIKI.